Hey everybody, welcome to week 6 of Quarantine Classroom. I'm excited that we're close to summer because this online learning is not my thing, but I'm appreciative that we are all learning and trying and doing our best. I'm hoping. Okay. Um, so we kind of finished up our circle stuff this past week, and so this current week we are actually going into area, surface area, volume, all that stuff. So it's going to be similar, but we're instead of just dealing with circles, we actually have pretty much all the basic shapes. This week we're really just focusing on area of shapes, which is really nice. Just flat shapes, not even 3D figures yet. Um, so we're gonna focus on that. Our notes are gonna be pretty simple because you should know a good chunk of this. And if you don't, I actually on your homework, or I think I'm not in your homework, at least in materials, at least, whatever, on Google Classroom, there will be a formula sheet with all the formulas that you're gonna need to do this. But I'm gonna just do a couple examples for you, give you some formulas. It'll be great. So let's just jump right in. Oops. So we have geometry, week 6, and we're going to do area today. And we're doing specific area on what's called plane figures. And what I mean by plane figures are figures that are only on a singular plane. So those 2D flat figures like rectangles and triangles and squares and parallelograms and all that stuff. So all stuff that we should at least be familiar with. So let's look at some formulas here. Now you do have a formula sheet, and I do think on top of your homework, you have these formulas as well. So, but I just want to keep them here on our notes so we have kind of an idea of what we're using. So triangle. The area formula is 1/2 base times height. I don't need a dot there. Okay, we have a rectangle. I guess we're gonna look at perimeter. Formula is 2 length plus 2 width, and our area formula is length times width. We have square. Our perimeter of a square is 4 times whatever the side length is, and our area is our side length squared. We have a parallelogram. Someone's like honking like crazy out there. I don't even know what's going on. Crazy. Okay, whatever. Sorry, parallelogram. Our area formula is base times height. We have trapezoid. Our area formula is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. That is a weird one, but we're going to go over it. Don't worry. And we should already know these two circle. Okay, circumference is 2 pi r, or diameter pi, and then we have area, which is pi r squared. Okay, so last one, I'm not gonna do any circle examples because we literally just spent a whole unit doing circle examples, so over it. Let's do some other examples here. Do you hear this honking? It's literally ridiculous. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it stopped. Thank God. Okay. So, example. So here's a triangle, just a random one I'm drawing. Okay, so when we're looking at triangles, we do have a base. And then our height, and I put inches, 12 inches. And our height is the line that is perpendicular, so trace that 90 with our base, and goes up to the opposite vertex. And in this case, it is 6. So if we wanted to find the area of this, it's just 1/2 base, which is 12, times height, which is 6. Okay, 1/2 times 12 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. So this is 36 inches squared. So again, the key thing to finding height is it's perpendicular or 90 degrees to the base, and then it goes to the next vertex or the vertex above. Okay. Now that gets a little different when we look at triangles that look like this. Okay, if you notice, there's no way to get from this to that point, our opposite vertex, at a 90-degree angle. Okay, and this is going to be the only side you know. So it has to be used as your base because you don't know these other two in order to find that out. So you can technically, instead of going here to here at an angle, we can still go 90 degrees down to find out what our height is here. And in this case, we're going to say it's 15 centimeters. That still is your height because it goes from your top vertex down to where your base would be if we extended it, and so that height is still the same. Okay, and so area formula 1/2 base times height. 1/2 of 30 is 15. 15 times 15 is 225. So 225 centimeters squared. Okay. Rectangle, we should know how to do rectangles, but here's an example just quickly, and this is pretty much very similar to what squares would be as well. So I'm not going to do a square. Okay, so here's our rectangle. 2 and 5. These are in inches. I always forget to write that. And we know this is pretty much, this 2 side is the same as like a height because it's hitting that base at 90 degrees. Since it's not a triangle, we don't have to cut it in half. We can just use the full thing. So 5 times 2 equals 10. So 10 inches squared. So if you notice, a triangle and a triangle and a square are pretty much the same formula because a triangle is a rectangle or square that's cut in half. And so that's why it's the same formula. Parallelogram is going to be actually the same way. Parallelograms are rectangles or squares that are cut in half, or not rectangles or squares. Parallelograms and triangles are the same because triangles are, again, can be parallelograms that are cut in half. So for example, here's a parallelogram. And it's very similar to a rectangle or anything like that. We have in here, there we go. So this is 12 centimeters. And then we have our height, which again goes down from our base to our thing. And the base is this, in this case, on the top, because this is also 12 down here. So it really doesn't matter as long as it's 12. And this is 3. Okay, so our area is going to be pretty much like everything else, base times height. And I said centimeters. Yep. Okay, perfect. And I have one more, which is the trapezoid. Trapezoids are the weirder ones, but it still works. Okay, as you can tell, like triangles, rectangles, squares, parallelograms are all pretty much the same formula. Trapezoid is a little different, and this is an irregular or what is it? What did we say? Irregular? No. Non-isosceles. There we go. Non-isosceles trapezoid. And I'm going to label everything. So we have 7 inches here, 5 inches here, 9 here, and 10 over here. And we know this is a 90 degree. So if we look at this, our 2 bases are our tops and our bottoms that are parallel to each other. So the 7 and the 10. Okay. Our height, remember, goes from a base to the opposite vertex at 90 degrees. So we're just looking for that 90 degree line, which in this case is in our trapezoid at 5 inches. Okay, and that's all we need. So let's do this. Area equals 1/2 height, which is 5, times base 1 plus base 2. So 7 plus 10. Well, 7 plus 10 is 17. 17 times 5 times 1/2 is going to be 42.5. Honestly, use a calculator because I would not be able to do that in my head. That's it. So you're just using those formulas. In your homework, you have a lot of questions like this, and you also have some that are like word problems, but they should give you the same stuff. So those formulas will work no matter what. It should be totally fine. So really quick reminder, as I was putting in grades this weekend, I noticed there's a couple of us that have not turned anything in at all. And it's really frustrating for me because I'm not trying to make this hard for anybody. And so what I want to remind you is, if you are one of those people that have not turned anything in right now, you're on your way to get an incomplete in this class, whether or not you had an A beforehand, okay? You need to start turning stuff in. Now, if you notice, when I put grades in the grade book, I'm not assigning them to your final grade. Your final grade is not changing right now, okay? The reason for that is the grades that you're getting on this quarantine homework and stuff is not going to affect your final grade as long as you are doing them. Okay, so if you're not doing your homework or not doing anything right now, even if you're attending Zoom meetings but you're not doing your work, that's not how this works. You need to participate in the work, okay, to get the full credit or to even complete the class. And you're all capable of completing this class because um, whether or not you get answers correct or incorrect, as long as you're participating, your grade will be what it is currently. So if you're at a D, that's passing. And as long as you're doing your work and say you just get everything wrong and you don't really care, I don't care, you'll get a D in the class. Okay. The catch is that if you're doing your work and you're doing well and you're making corrections when I send them to you and you're actually putting full effort in, your grade will go up. Okay. The only thing is that if you do not participate in any of the work and homework that I'm sending out, your grade will be an incomplete, and you don't want that. Okay, that adds for a lot more work for me and you in the fall, and I'd rather not have to deal with that. So, and I know you wouldn't, at top of your schedule that you're going to have next year. Um, so my recommendation to you is get your work in, okay, whether it's right or wrong, whether you just BS'd it or not, get your work in so you can at least get past this class, okay? Other than that, I will see you all on Wednesday at our meeting at 12. Have a great week.